people despise you, then you've got real worries. Not whether they're going to follow you in the next preemptive action. You handle Iraq and come out of Iraq in one piece. You may not achieve what you set out to achieve, a functioning democracy in Iraq, but at least you leave it more stable than it was, in better shape than it was. It may take you some time. I think you will overcome it as you overcame Vietnam, and Vietnam was a messy business at, 50,000 deaths and 150,000 casualties. One of the strange things about America is this obsession with casualties, which again makes the world feel that only American lives are important. Casualties have crossed the 1,000 mark, so it's a disaster. Tens of thousands of Iraqis have died. They're killing each other and they'll continue to kill each other. I think you have to look at it in the long term. All this will be forgotten. But how did you, at the end of the day, hold your head up and said, I came to do good and I did good. You did not go as conquerors, but alas, for various reasons, you didn't get the blessings of the UN. Otherwise, it would have been much easier. And you had to carry the burden of being an occupying force. You go through with this, leave it in better shape, and you'll still be a leader of the world.
There's also this lesson, whether it's Singapore or China or Vietnam or Iraq, you have to learn from history,
yes,
or you will repeat it.
Yeah. But you are what you are, right?
The most powerful country
In
economics and politics and cultural.
In October of 2002, I was in London, and I met the advisor to the British Prime Minister. They facilitated me because we were also interested in Iraq. So I discussed what were the options and what were the chances. And victory over Saddam's forces was assured. Now the worries were what happens after that. And I had read excerpts of what happened with the British in the 1920s. They had 250,000 British Indian troops, and they suffered many casualties, over 20,000 casualties. So I asked this advisor, I said, this is your history. If you were in charge, what would you do? He said, I'd go in and get rid of Saddam, get the strongest man who can hold the country together, and get out. But Americans cannot do that. They go in with noble, high-minded objectives to bring democracy, to change the nature of the society. That's not easy, and that's a long-term goal. And the question is, have Americans the patience for that?
Well, that's the question. Yeah. It's great to see you. Pleasure to have you here. I hope you'll come back.
And we are still friends with America.
Yes, indeed. Lee Kuan Yew, as I said, is the mentor minister of Singapore. Thank you for joining us. See you next time. funding for Charlie Rose has been provided by the following.
Coca-Cola and our local bottlers have sponsored more than 4,000 scholars, like Matthew Turner, helping them to attend college and prepare for careers that benefit all of us. Satisfying a thirst for achievement, the Coca-Cola Company.
Charlie Rose on PBS is brought to you in part by J.P. Morgan Chase, providing financial services and solutions to more than 30 million consumers, institutions, corporations, and governments worldwide.
Additional funding for Charlie Rose was also provided by these funders.
And by Bloomberg, a provider of multimedia news and information services worldwide.
We are PBS.
On the next Charlie Rose, a conversation with Howard Dean about Politics 2004 and a visit with Lenny Kravitz about his career in music. Join us.